definitely you may get questions in the JEE Advanced. Okay, so first I'll tell you what exactly is there in your syllabus so that you are all okay. It is going to be slightly difficult and complicated. Yeah, so that's it. That's all that I can say. Okay, so here we go. So the question is very simple. The question is, I have a sphere here. What is it has a charge Q. What is its potential? So its potential V is very simple, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. So this I hope all of us are able to say. There is another concentric sphere here which has a charge, let us say minus 3Q. Now what is the potential of each of these spheres? So suppose this has a radius A and this has a radius B. The potential of the outer sphere B outer will become equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught minus 3Q by B plus Q by B. So this is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught minus 2Q by B. Now potential of the inner sphere is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught minus 3Q by B remains the same plus Q by A. Plus Q by A. So whatever this is. In this case, I see that the potential of inner sphere is more. Which is greater? Q by B is greater or Q by A is greater? This 3Q by B is the same. So Q by B is lesser than Q by A. Q by A is greater than Q by B. So potential of inner sphere is more than potential of outer sphere. Okay. So in such a situation, if you join these two, charge will move from higher potential to lower potential. So charge will move from inner sphere to outer sphere. So if you connect them, this charge will move from here to here, and the charge on the outer sphere will become minus 2Q. Do you understand? Suppose some charge from the inner sphere goes to the outer sphere, this will become Q minus Q, Q minus Q, this will become something, both of them will remain the same. So the only way these two can become the same is when this becomes 0, inner sphere, this becomes 0. And if this becomes 0, all of it shifts here, so both of them will become the same. So whenever you have a system of this kind, there will be more charge. Charge moves from higher potential to lower potential. That is a universal truth. In this case, because the inner sphere is at a higher potential, charge will move from inner sphere to outer sphere. Okay. This is actually the theory behind the Van de Graaff generator. But this has been removed from your syllabus, so you don't have to read it. Suppose I have a sphere here, this is minus 3Q. Suppose I have a sphere here, this is Q. Now the potential of the outer sphere will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by B minus 3Q by B. Okay, do you get it? If I put a Gaussian surface here, there are two charges inside, so I wrote the potential V outer. Now if I go inside, it will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by B minus 3Q by A. Minus 3Q by A. Basically, yeah, so because of the outer sphere, once you come inside it, for the outer sphere, it will become equipotential. So it will remain Q by B. For the inner sphere now, I'm doing work, so that becomes minus 3Q by A. So it becomes 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught minus 3Q by A. So this is it. Here I see that the inner potential, inner sphere will have a smaller potential than the outer sphere because of the negative charge. So now if you connect them, all the charge will move from outer sphere to inner sphere. Basically, the logic that I am using all the time is charge is going to move from higher potential to lower potential. So this is what is going to happen. Now, if you understand this, then I have one sphere here which has a charge, suppose Q1. I have another sphere here which has a charge Q2. I have another sphere here which has a charge Q3. I am identifying points A, B, C, and D. This has a radius A. This has a radius B. This has a radius C. So my question to you is, what is the potential at A, B, C, and D? What is the potential at A, B, C, and D? So first, when I look at A, if I draw Gaussian surface here, total charge inside is Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 by R, where R is greater than C. This all of you must be able to understand. The potential at B, I am now coming from infinity, I have crossed this surface. So because of this surface, the potential will become a constant for that surface. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q3 by C plus Q1 plus Q2 by R, where R is greater than B, R is greater than equal to B, less than C. I hope you are able to understand. This is when R lies between B and C. The potential due to the outer sphere will become a constant. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q3 by C plus this. Suppose I reach the C. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Now I'm going further. So the potential because of the first two spheres will become a constant. So it is Q3 by C plus Q2 by B plus Q1 by R plus Q1 by R, where A less than equal to R less than equal to B. So at C, I am now crossing one potential surface here, another equipotential surface here, plus it is variable because of the inner charge. Then the potential at the point D is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Now it is constant because of the all three spheres, plus Q2 by B plus Q1 by A. So this is what I'm trying to communicate, where here R is less than A. So this is what the potential is at A, potential at B, potential at C, potential at D. Okay, so now when I'm going from here to this point D, I have crossed one surface, so its potential. I have crossed another surface, so its potential. I have crossed a third surface, its potential. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q3 by c plus q2 by b plus q1 by a. That is the overall potential. So that is what it is. Okay. So I hope you understand this. I will repeat again. I have one sphere here. I have one more sphere here. The potential at this point will be equal to the potential due to this sphere and the potential due to this shell. So it will simply be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Suppose this is q1, this is a, and this is q2 and it is b. So it is q1 by a plus q2 by b. Inside this, for this it will be a constant. So it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 by a plus q2 by r. If you come outside it, now it becomes a variable for both. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 plus q2 by r. Okay, so as simple as this. Take some time, think about it. If you are okay, then we will think of moving ahead. Just work this out. Think about it. Hello? Yeah? Okay, I'll talk to you later. Hello. So I hope you guys are able to get it. Okay. So this is how you work with it. Good. If you understand this, then here is one sphere which has a radius a, charge let us say q. I have another sphere here. This has a radius b. Suppose the charge is 2q. I have another surface here c. Suppose this is c, charge is 3q. My question to you is, what is the potential of the inner sphere? So potential of the inner sphere VB is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 3q by c plus 3q by b. I hope you are able to get it. Potential of the inner sphere will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 3q by c 2q by b q by a. Then obviously potential of the outer sphere will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 3q plus 2q plus q by c. Okay. So if all of you are able to get it, then a question. Suppose I earth this, what is going to happen? So theoretically, the earth is considered to be a reservoir of charges. Okay, the earth has endless amount of charges, both positive and negative. That means the earth can take in both positive charges. So take in positive charges means basically give negative charges. Then both positive charge and negative charge. Negative charge means it can take negative charges, it can give negative charges, so earth can do anything. Then the second thing is that the potential of the earth is considered to be 0. the potential of the earth is considered to be 0. So the earth is at 0 potential. So the moment you connect it to the earth, what will happen is charge will flow such that this becomes 0 potential. So the moment charge flows, this 2q is no more there. So suppose the charge and that is some q1. So I will have to change color now. I will have 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 3q by c plus q1 by b plus q by b is equal to 0. Potential of the inner sphere is 0. So potential due to this is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by b. Potential due to this is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 3q by c. Potential of the sphere itself is q1 by b, where I don't know the value for q1. So if the whole thing is 0, then can I say that q1 by b is equal to minus 3q by c plus q by b? I am taking these two to the other side because I know them. So from here, I can get q1 is equal to this much. That means initially the charge on this is q1, but the moment you earth it, its potential becomes 0. So when its potential becomes 0, more charge, negative charge from the earth comes here, so that the net charge on that is equal to some q1, which I found to be equal to minus 3q by c plus q by b into b. So the initial charge was 2q, the final charge is this much. I can find out final charge minus q final minus q initial is the charge that came from the earth. Do you understand? Are you able to get it? Yeah. So this is how you go ahead with it. So make some notes. I will wait for you. I repeat, this is outside your NCERT syllabus. But I have seen questions of this kind appear in your JEE mains exam. Definitely they come in the JEE advanced exam. But nowadays they are sticking more to NCERT, but we can't say. If this question is there in the past, it can be there in the future also. Okay. Okay. So if you get it, then we will move ahead. So the logic, this logic is what needs to be understood. The earth is a reservoir of charges. The earth is a reservoir of charges, and both positive and negative. It's not that it has only positive. So simply speaking, if you have a charged body here, and suppose this has a charge plus q, and you earth it, just to take a wire and connect it to the earth, all this charge will go here over. If you have a, in this case, charge doesn't go here, negative charge comes here to neutralize it. If you have minus q and then if you earth it, then all the minus q will go into the earth. Okay, so the earth has the capacity to supply or absorb endless amounts of charge. Okay, so this is the logic, and of course the potential of the earth is 0. Yeah, so if you get these two things, you can just mug it up. Don't worry. If you didn't understand, don't worry, just mug it up. Then the 3 sphere problem, I will explain to you again. So total charge inside Q1, suppose this is Q1, this is Q2, this is Q3, this is A, this is B, this is C. So potential of this surface, outer surface, is total charge by 4 pi epsilon naught C. The potential of the inner sphere, you are crossing this, right? So this will become equipotential. So Q1, sorry, Q3 by 4 pi epsilon naught C plus Q1 plus Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught V. Same thing. Now for this, you are crossing this and you are crossing this. So VA is equal to Q3 by 4 pi epsilon naught C plus Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught B plus Q1 by 4 pi epsilon naught A. So this is VA, this is VB, and this is VC. So this is how you can calculate these. Okay, very good. Now I have one metal plate here. This is over. Okay, so if you want to write down something, please write down. I finished this concept. The only thing that that is there in your syllabus, that the earth has a capacity to supply or absorb endless amount of charge. The potential of the earth is 0. So whenever you connect something to the earth, its potential becomes 0. Its charge need not become 0. We saw a case where the charge didn't become 0, but the potential became 0. I have a plate here. I have another plate here. Suppose this has a charge Q. Suppose this has a charge 2Q. Okay. Then in all such cases, what happens is there is charge on the inner face, outer face, inner face, outer face. Right? So suppose the charge on this is Q1, then the charge here becomes Q minus Q1. The charge on this becomes Q minus Q1. So here is a theory that in case of charged plates, separated by a distance, net charge on facing plates is 0. Why is it 0? Because if I draw a Gaussian surface like this, total charge inside must be 0. So if there is Q1 here, minus Q1. Okay, so that is the logic. Okay, we have done it. Now I looking at a point inside. Okay, the second theoretical concept is inside the plate, electric field is 0. Why it is 0? Because these are conductors. Because these are conductors. So I hope this idea also you are able to understand. So if you understand this particular idea, then the electric field here is 1 by 2 epsilon naught A. Because of this, the electric field will be in this direction. So I'm assuming that to be positive. So it is not Q1, it is simply Q. Q minus Q1. Because of this Q1, it will be in the opposite direction. So minus Q1. Because of this Q1, it will be in the same direction. Plus Q1. Because of this, here it is, if it is this side it will become 2Q plus Q1. So because of this, it will push in the opposite direction. Minus 2Q minus Q1. This is equal to 0. This epsilon naught A is common to all, so I just put it there. Now, if I look at this minus Q1 plus Q1 cancels. So this q minus 2q, so I'll get minus q minus 2q1 is equal to 0, implying 2q1 is equal to minus q, implying q1 is equal to minus q by 2. Can you reach here? Please reach here. Uroredtla 2 by epsilon naught, 2 by epsilon naught, 2 by epsilon naught, 2 by epsilon naught. So I took it common. Then I am assuming this direction to be positive and the opposite direction to be negative. So the charge on this plate will push in this direction. The charge on so plus. The charge on this q1 will push in this direction. So minus. This is negative charge, so it will pull again. So plus. This charge again, assuming it is plus, it will push. So it is this. So I get q1 is equal to minus q by 2. So what does that mean? So it means that the charge on this plate is minus q by 2. The charge on this plate is plus q by 2. Look, in the beginning I assumed ulta, but then the answer came such that it will take care. So you don't have to worry. So this is 2q plus q1. So 2q minus q by 2 will give you 3q by 2. This is also 3q by 2. Okay. So the charge here is 3q by 2. The charge here is minus q by 2. The charge here is plus q by 2. The charge here is minus 3q by 2. I hope you are able to understand this. Here there is an observation, which we will just keep it as an observation now, that the charge on the outer plates equals net charge by 2. So q plus 2q is 3q. So the charge on this plate is 3q by 2. The charge on this outer plate is also equal to 3q by 2 and is same. Okay. So make notes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I just need some 20 seconds to do the announcement again.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So students, please listen. Many of you were asking about this mathematics test on Monday. So there is a test on Monday, and the portions is the first chapter, full chapter. Hope you understood. I've sent a information in the chat box also. And tomorrow there will be a doubt clarification session for chemistry by Nandakishore sir from 1:10 p.m. to 3:30 or 3:15 p.m. in the afternoon session. You can use the same link to log in. Tomorrow is Saturday, and that will be mainly based on the test that you wrote a few days back. So hopefully everyone came to know about this. Kindly send this message to your friends also. Thank you, sir. Please continue, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what it is, right? So if you are able to get it, we will move on. Now there are 3 plates. Okay, so there is one plate here, there is one plate here, there is another plate here. Okay, so suppose this plate is having 3q charge, this plate is having minus 2q charge, and this plate is having q charge, suppose. If our logic earlier was right that the outer plate should have q by 2, net charge by 2, here net charge is 2q, so this plate should have q and this plate should have q. Okay, so we will check whether that is right or wrong. Now assume the charge on this side is minus q1, not wrong because this is minus 2q. So the charge on this plate will become minus q1 is here, so minus of from 2q, I am removing q1. Okay, then the charge on this plate should become, plus of that. So plus 2q minus q1. Here the total charge is q. On this you have 2q minus q1. So on the charge on this will become q minus 2q plus q1. Okay, so that will become q1 minus q. So this is what is the charge. So if on this side it is minus q1, on this side it will become plus q1. So here it is 3q minus q1. So I hope this charge distribution, this, and this is understood. Okay, the logic that I am using is on plates facing each other, sorry, on surfaces facing each other, net charge is 0. Already explained to you. So I'm using that only. So now if I draw a Gaussian surface here, total charge inside 0. If I draw a Gaussian surface here, total charge inside 0. So that is the logic that I have used. Okay, now I'm going to find out what is this q1. So I'll go back to white. So this time I'll check the electric field here. So this minus q1 is going to pull onto this side. Yeah, then I will write that as minus q1 by 2 epsilon naught a. I'll keep that as negative. This q1 is going to push it in the opposite direction. So plus q1 by 2 epsilon naught a. This will push it again in the same direction. Plus 3q minus q1 by 2 epsilon naught a. Now this charge is also minus. So it is going to pull in the plus direction. So plus 2q minus q1 by 2 epsilon naught a. Now this guy, what is this guy going to do? This guy is going to push in the opposite direction. So minus 2q minus q1 by 2 epsilon naught a. Now what is this guy going to do? This guy is also going to push in the opposite direction. So minus q1 minus q by 2 epsilon naught a. This is equal to 0. So please reach here. I have put forces on this side as negative. I have put forces on this side as positive. You can do either way. There is no problem. So there are 6 plates, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 surfaces. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electric fields. And the sum of all these electric fields must be 0, right? So I'm removing all the denominators because you take it to that side becomes 0, doesn't matter. Now what is happening is this is minus q1 plus q1 cancels. Okay, so this is 3q1, 3q minus q1 plus 2q minus q1 minus 2q plus q1. This minus will become plus. Minus q1 plus q is equal to 0. Yeah. So if you have this, do you see that there is a minus q1 here plus q1 here? These two will vanish. Then there's a minus plus 2q minus 2q that will also vanish. So if I look at it now, I have 2q1. So minus 2q1. Then I have 3q plus q. 3q plus q is how much? 4q. So 4q minus 2q1 is equal to 0. So from this, I will get q1 is equal to 2q. Do you understand this? So if q1 is equal to 2q, now in white color, sorry, not in white color, in yellow color, let me write down the charge on each plate. So the charge on the first plate here is q1 minus q. So 2q minus q, that's what we had thought. Okay, so on this 2q minus 2q, so on this plate it is 0. Yeah, so if on this plate it is 0, on this plate also it is 0. On this plate, it is minus q1. So that is minus 2q. On this plate, it is plus 2q, plus 2q. On this plate also, it is q, right? So there is good amount of theory here. Please make notes that on the outer face, the charge distribution is net charge by 2 and will be the same. Okay. So first make notes of this, then we will move on. On the outer surface, the net charge will be total charge by 2. And it will be the same. Okay. So write notes, make notes, work it out for yourself. All is by practice. There is nothing else. In all these things, there's nothing else. If you practice, you will get it. If you listen for others, and then mind will keep saying, I don't know. All that we are saying is inside a metal, electric field is 0, proved in the first chapter. Then next thing we are saying is that facing plates will have equal and opposite charges. Explained, because if there's a Gaussian surface, total charge must be 0. Now we are saying that the total charge on the inner surface and outer surface must be equal to total charge by 2. Already proved in 2 cases, so it is universally true. In fact, even before we did, we said what the charge is going to be, and then we proceeded. Okay, now if you understand this, then I will move on. So now if you give me a question, sir, there is a plate here, there is a plate here. On this there is q. On this, suppose there is 3q. What is the charge on each plate? Well, no problem. On this plate will be 2q. On this plate will be 2q. On this plate will be plus q, because total is 3q, so 2q here. So here 2q, so this should be minus q. And you understand this. You agree? Yeah, you understand this, right? Now, in this, I am explaining to you that look, this charge that you have is bound charge. Or okay, forget it. You get this, right? So let's not talk complicated stuff. Yeah, you're getting it. Now, I am earthing this surface. Now I am earthing this plate. Okay, so the moment I earth this plate, what will happen is this charge, this initial charge which is here, is now not going to be of any use, because some charge is going to come from the earth or some charge is going to come from outside, such that the potential of this plate should become 0. Okay, so if I have a plate here which has a charge q, and if I have a plate here for which the potential is 0, what is going to happen? Because you have earthed it, what is going to happen is this plate will pull all the charges from this outer surface to the inner surface. That means all charge plus q will come to the inner surface. All charge plus q will come to the inner surface. Then the earth is going to supply charges so that negative charges come here. Actually, these charges come here because of the earthing. Because of the earthing, negative charges will come here. Only then the charge on this plate and the charge on this plate is 0. Now, if you have a Gaussian surface, what is the total charge? 0. What is the total potential? 0. So that is what is happening right now. Okay, so the moment you earth this, what is going to happen is that the charge on this side will become 0. The charge on this side will become minus q. The charge on this side will become plus q, and the charge on this will become equal to 0. Okay, do you understand this? Yeah. Now what happened? How much charge went from the earth? Earlier there was charge 3q, now it is minus q. So do you understand that 4q went from the earth? 4q went from the earth. Yeah. So is this plus 4q? No, minus 4q went from the earth. So when minus 4q went from the earth, it neutralized the 3q, and because of this plus q here, another minus q came in here. Do we understand this? Can you make some notes? So when you earth it, when you earth the plates, earth the plate, no plates, plate 1, the charge on the outer plates, on the outer surface becomes 0. Okay, charge on the outer surface becomes 0. Then the potential of the earthed plate is equal to 0. So I hope you have understood this. Next. Now I'm writing another question. So I have one plate here. Suppose this is 2q. I have another plate here. Suppose this is minus 5q. I have another plate here. Suppose this is only q. Now what is the charge on each of the surfaces? No problem. Total charge is minus 2q. So minus q here, minus q here. This all of you should be able to write. If it is minus q here, it is 2q here. Yeah. So if it is 2q here, then it is minus 2q here. If it is minus 2q here, then if it is minus q here, it is minus 3q here. Then it is, I'm sorry, plus 3q here. So it is minus 3q here. So this is how the charge distribution is. This is how the charge distribution is: minus q plus 3q minus 3q minus 2q, 2q minus q. Do you get this? All of you, are you able to get this? Okay. Now, suppose I am this is 2q, this is minus 5q, this was q before. Now I am earthing this, the central plate. So if I am earthing the central plate, what is going to happen? What is going to happen is, first thing is, this charge is not going to be of any use now. Yeah, and charge on this outer plate will be 0. Charge on this outer plate is also 0. So charge on this plate will become plus q. So on this plate will become minus q. So this plate will become 2q. On this plate will become minus 2q. Now, what will be the charge on this plate? Minus 3q. That means how much will go down? Minus 2q will go down. Do you understand this? Do you understand this? Yeah, so we get it. So the rules are pretty simple and pretty clear. This is what will happen. Okay, so now let's do some more work. So I hope this you are able to get it. Now suppose instead of earthing this sphere, this plate, suppose I earth this plate. Suppose I earth this plate. Now what is going to happen? So charge on the outer plates will become 0. So this will become 0. This will become 0. So the charge on this plate will become Q. Charge on this plate will become minus Q. Total charge is 5Q. This is minus Q. So this will become minus 4Q. So this will become plus 4Q. So if this is coming for plus 4Q, already 2Q is there. So 2Q should have gone from the ground. So if 2Q goes from the ground, now this will work out. Yeah. So I hope you are able to understand. Now this logic you can keep extending to as many plates as you want. Think about it. Okay. So good, we got our answers. I was not expecting to get the answers. I was little hesitant to do it today, but anyway, I think it worked out fine. If you guys understood it, great. If you didn't understand it, I don't know what else to do. Maybe I can do one more question for you. There is one plate here. Suppose it has 2Q. There's another plate here. Suppose it has 0. There's a third plate here, which has, let us say, 3Q. So initially, what will be the charge distribution? 5Q by 2. 5Q by 2 minus Q by 2. Then plus Q by 2. This will also be plus 5Q by 2. Then this will become plus Q by 2. Then this will become minus Q by 2. Now it's all very happy. The moment you earth this, what will happen? On the outer plate zeros. So the moment on the outer plate zeros, I'll change color. This will become plus 2Q. This will become minus 2Q. This will become plus 3Q. So this will become minus 3Q. So the total on this will now become 5Q negative. So charge is going from here, 5Q. Charge is going from here. So that's how it works. Okay, it is as simple as this. The logics that we are using in all these questions: one, inside the conductor, electric field is 0. 2, obviously we are using charge conservation. Charge cannot be created nor destroyed. Then the third thing that we are using is facing plates. Facing plates will always have equal and opposite charges. Facing plates will have equal and opposite charges. Okay, then when you ground something, ground or earth, charge on outer plate, the outer surface, not plate, will be 0. Then potential of Earth's surface is 0. That means this should form a capacitor, this should form a capacitor, equal and opposite charges. There should be no charges outside. If there are charges outside, potential won't be zero. Okay, so friends, this is all that I know. It took me, it took me quite some time to basically get it. I was not getting it in my first effort, so it took me a little bit of thinking. Basically, this is the first time I got it without much questions. So this is all that I have. I'll quickly show you the slides. Those of you who want to take snapshots, you can. Write notes. This is outside your syllabus, so you don't really need it unless you JEE Advanced. Maybe JEE Advanced will have questions of this kind. This is the second slide. This is the principle behind the working of a Van de Graaff generator. If you have the old book, it will be there. This is the last section. In the new books, they have removed it. Some 3 years back, they removed it from the syllabus. I gave you 3 points and I asked you to find out potential of outer sphere, inner sphere, inside the inner sphere. This one is, what is the potential of the outer sphere inner sphere inside the inner sphere? Same thing. I was telling you what happens when you earth it. When you earth it, potential becomes zero. Charge moves from the earth or to the earth. The earth can take endless amount of charge. There is no problem. Then I moved to plates. I found out what is the charge on each plate. Some small concepts we have said here. I took 3 plates. Then we found out the charge distribution on each plate. Then I took 2 plates, connected it to the earth. Oh. Then I took 3 plates. Now we said, now we know the answer. We don't really have to work it out. We can directly do it. So we directly did it. Then we brought in a change. What if the central one was earthed? Then we brought in another change. What if the outer one was earthed? So in both the cases, the answers are different. The answers are not the same. Zero Q minus Q. Yeah, so in both the cases, the answers are different. They are not the same. So in this case, the charge on each plate was this much: 0 plus Q minus 2Q, 2Q, and 0. In this case, what was the answer? In this case, the answer is 0, then 0, then Q, then minus Q. Total is 5Q, so 4Q, then plus 4Q, then 0, and then we said 2Q came from here. In this case, minus 2Q had left. Okay. Okay, good. So that's it. That was the end. Then I did another question just to show you. Here again we took center, and then again I revised these portions. So I am done with this. I hope the 3-plate question that you got in your exam, now you can work it out easily without any problem.